Fear, absolute fear. Really scared. Scared of the unknown. How am I going to cope? How am I going to exist without drugs and drink? How am I going to laugh again? You know, absolute fear.
I tried a lot of things in my life to clean up from drugs and alcohol, and I just kept failing. And I kind of came up the drive thinking, this is just another MOT. This isn't going to be a long-lasting cure. It's not going to happen for me. It's too late in my life. So failure was probably one of the biggest things that I feared.
I didn't want to come to Broadway Lodge. I didn't want to come anywhere initially. I was very arrogant about the need to come. I firmly believed that there was not a problem with my drinking. There wasn't a problem with me in any way. The problem was with other people, and I believed that I was being asked to consider coming to a treatment centre because people wanted rid of me.
Lorraine, Dennis and Liz know all about the pain of addiction and the fear of treatment.
I think coming into Broadway Lodge is a massive step, coming in for the first time and with all the uncertainties that they're going to find here, but also with the expectation that they're going to have to make life changes, massive life changes. So I think that it takes a lot of courage, and I think that people are very brave to come and do it, but the rewards are enormous.
For more than 35 years, Broadway Lodge has been dealing with those fears, helping literally thousands of people confront their addictions and change their lives, and with dramatic success.
I'm aware this is your first time in rehab, and
so why is Broadway Lodge so successful? Well, perhaps because our treatment programmes here are well structured, but at the same time tailored to the individual needs of each patient. This is our brand new detox unit. It represents a £300,000 investment in our treatment programmes here.
Okay, we just need to check your blood pressure.
On admission, every new patient is examined and assessed, and a suitable detox prescribed. Broadway Lodge has a dedicated team of nurses and doctors providing 24-hour cover.
They prescribe the right amount of medication. They've got two trained nursing staff on duty all the time, and I guess they knew how much to medicate and when to medicate, and it worked for me. You know, I gradually came out through detox. Mine probably took about 2 weeks because I was addicted to crack and heroin.
When I was coming into detox, I was very, very fearful. It was like the beginning of the end of this medication, which then signified a new life drug-free. So I had all the emotions going on, all the fear around, will I be hurting physically on this detox? Am I going to get through it? Am I strong enough to get through it? You've got to want it. And if you want it badly enough, you'll be in the right place here. They know what they're doing. They're not here to hurt you. They're here to help you through. And that's exactly what they do.
I'm so pleased when they come in. That's almost like the worst bit, when they come across that front door. That's the bit that they're actually most scared. Once we've got that detox going and they've met the other patients downstairs, everything changes quite quickly. They realise everybody's in the same boat. The other patients are great because they're really very supportive. They know how they feel. You know, they felt like that themselves. So everything sort of gets into place very quickly.
For any addict, treatment at Broadway Lodge is broken into sections. Primary care lasts about 8 weeks, but it can be adjusted to suit need. As well as individual counselling and group therapies, patients are offered a range of alternative therapies, and it really does help to relieve stress and aid treatment. Liz went through the intensive programme, which is based on the Minnesota model, and in primary care covers the first 5 of the 12-step programme. She would be the first to admit it's not easy. Confronting your addiction, often dealing with denial, It's the first critical step.
I firmly believed that there was not a problem with my drinking. There wasn't a problem with me in any way. The problem was with other people. Reflecting on myself and how sick I was coming in here and the level of my denial, I can never overemphasise that I was so physically sick. I wasn't able to walk up those stairs. I couldn't have walked up the stairs this morning that we've walked to this room when I first came to Broadway Lodge.
Primary care is based in a 34-bed facility in its own beautiful gardens. It caters for both men and women over the age of 18. Patients live in shared single-sex bedrooms with between 2 and 4 beds.
Absolutely nothing like I had imagined it to be, because it wasn't like sleeping where I was imagining it was going to be a dormitory where people would be walking up and down all the time and noisy. It was completely different. I needed somebody in that room with me. I would have been petrified. I realised within a couple of days I would have been petrified on my own.
All meals are prepared by the in-house catering staff. A healthy eating pattern is an important part of the treatment programme. Secondary care is the next step, and that's based at 5 houses within the grounds of Broadway Lodge.
You're in secondary care, and what we're going to do a bit of an orientation with you now.
There are 4 qualified full-time counsellors in secondary care. At least one individual counselling session is offered each week, together with group sessions and workshops.
Especially if we haven't had...
Secondary care offers a stepping stone back into normal life.
Soups are really great to do because they're so cheap.
Life skills are an important part of the treatment process, so when people get to these houses, they're encouraged to help themselves. For instance, taking responsibility for buying and preparing a meal on a budget. There can be a third stage to the treatment process, and that's based at a 4-bedroomed house in nearby Bristol. Stays there can last between 3 and 12 months. Residents are helped with all aspects of getting back to normal life, from financial planning to help in finding accommodation when they move out.
The staff here are very proud of what they do, and from very early on it was recognised that for every addict, alcoholic that comes into treatment, there is probably as many as 6 or 7 other people that are affected. And probably within that group, the family members are the ones that are going to be most significantly affected. And so from those early days, we've involved family members as much as possible in the treatment that we provide. And so we have family programs where family members can come in their own right to get help and advice and information, but also in making changes themselves, the outcome of the treatment for the individual is likely to be increased.
What I'm going to do is help and support you along the way.
They have a simple aim here: to return lives addiction has taken away.
I'm a mum now. I was only mum in the word. I'm a mum. I can be there for my daughter and my grandson. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I never was that.
Come here and just have 8 weeks out and give it a go and see for yourself, because I wish I could, but I can't take out from me and put it into somebody else. They have to come here and see for themselves and do the work and go through the experience. I can't just sit down and talk to somebody for half an hour and give them what Broadway Lodge gave to me. You have to go through the experience to get it. So just come here and give it a go.
I am a part of the human race again. I am a worker amongst workers. That's amazing. And it's a good place to be in my life today.
You see, you can ask almost anyone who's been through it. It works.